Is this the best budget paddle? Is it any good? And should you buy? Stay tuned to find out. The Jellybean was part of 11Six24's recent release of their new Monarch line of paddles. The Jellybean is the cheapest option of the lineup and has been generating a good amount of buzz. Before we jump into the performance and my thoughts on the paddle, let's get some specs out of the way. This paddle comes in at 16 millimeters. The surface material is a raw carbon fiber face. This is a control paddle in a wide body shape. This paddle is also classified as a Gen 1.5, meaning it is not thermoformed, but there is foam around the edges to help give it a bigger sweet spot. The handle length is 5.75 inches. The grip circumference is 4.2 inches. The static weight of my paddle was 8.1 ounces, with the swing weight coming in at 110 and the twist weight coming in at 7.3. This paddle comes in at a retail price of only $100, but using my discount code, you actually can get this down to $90. For the money, this paddle performs extremely well. I went into this review not expecting to be crazily impressed by the Jellybean, but what you get for the money is really solid. This is a wide body paddle which helps with control and stability. The Jellybean surprisingly has a good amount of pop and power for a control paddle, and the feel of the face was pretty soft and dense. My spin test for the Jellybean came back around 1,935 RPMs, which is slightly lower than what most paddles I test have been coming in at, but keep in mind, this paddle is only listed for a retail price of $100. I also am usually not the biggest fan of wide body paddles, as I have mentioned in other reviews, but for some reason, the Jellybean felt very natural to use. Maybe with all my play testing of the recent bread and butter Fat Boy, I am growing more accustomed to the wide body shape, but this paddle is very easy to pick up and just go play with. Drops and dinks are where this paddle excels. I never was worried about popping balls up, and with the longer handle and wider face, my two-handed dinks and counters were a breeze. My drives did feel like they were lacking slightly, but as I did mention, this is more of a control-oriented paddle. All in all, this is a very fun paddle to pick up and play with. If you are looking for a budget-friendly control paddle with great performance for the money, then this is the paddle for you. It really is wild how good some of these paddles are getting for lower and lower price points. The Jellybean is the definition of value for money. If you are new to the game and looking for your first paddle over $50, this is a great entry point. But by no means is this paddle only suited for beginners. There is plenty of performance in this paddle that rivals plenty of the paddles in the $120 to $160 price range. The only people I would not recommend this paddle to are those who love elongated paddles or like to play solely with power paddles. In summary, this paddle is one of, if not the best options for under $100 on the market, and I cannot recommend it enough. If you have played with a paddle from 11Six24 before, let me know what your experience was like. If you have any questions or feedback for me, make sure to leave those down below. And other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.